welcome back to Smashing This Podcast. This is our recap for All Stars 2, Episode 8. My name is Zach. I'm joined by my wife, Hannah, my best friend, Jake.
How's everybody doing tonight?
A lot of stuff going on.
Man,
a lot of things have happened.
have we not been busy?
Yeah.
And sick?
Yeah.
Lord.
Have you been sick?
I got sick for about 3 days.
Well,
y'all have been sicker than I have.
We've
Hannah
been
had a sinus infection.
sick. Mine was severe.
I had a sinus infection for about 10 days, and I never have that. And then my mom got COVID, and so then we had to drive my sister and brother-in-law and all their kids to the airport.
Early. They left early.
And then they get to California, and then 3 of them have COVID now. My grandmother has COVID. Hannah's uncle has COVID. Did I say my grandmother has COVID?
Yes.
Well, she does.
Her husband had
They
pneumonia.
thought her husband had pneumonia. He's 94. He did have pneumonia. They thought he had COVID. He doesn't.
They thought that she brought COVID to him.
Yeah, and so it's been a lot going on. And so Hannah and I had to go get tested just to be safe again.
We're negative.
Yeah, we're negative, even though we went and got tested when we had sinus infections just to make sure, and that was
those
negative.
were negative.
But we had to go again, and then in the midst of all of it, I was taking a trap back to the Humane Society to catch a pregnant cat, and I ended up taking a dog home that we officially kept today. Winston.
We named him
Man,
Winston.
what a good boy.
He is.
Jake, you seem to really take a liking to him.
Well, he seems to have really taken a liking to me, Hannah.
Yeah,
So,
I called. I went, dropped his trap off, and I was like, I'm gonna go in and look at the dogs. They're like, yeah, that's fine.
That was your first
Because I always
mistake.
do. No, I do
First
that every time I
mistake.
go. I always see, and I try to take pictures, and sometimes I'll post them. But
we love dogs.
yeah,
We do.
Every-
I love all of the
it's
dogs.
the quietest I'd ever been in there because there's a lot of dogs, and none of them are barking, none of them are doing anything. And then I walk by, and I walk to this one little area, and it's where Winston. His name was Gordy at the time.
Not a good name.
They almost called him Gimli because he's small, like the dwarf.
No, we don't like that.
But
Not for him.
He was just in there, and he's doing kind of what he does at the house. He's just laying down, and then I get his attention, and he was real excited, and then he just kind of laid back down. And so I asked him if I could get him out, and they're like, yeah, like he needs another shot though. And so they gave him a shot right then because they were about to do it anyway. And they were like, yeah, he was a stray, like he's about 7 months old, but they're like, because I thought he was a puppy. I thought he was like 2-3 months old the way he looked.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, he's about 7 months. Like he probably won't get much bigger. And
He's about 30 pounds.
yeah, he's about 30 pounds. Like he's just a stray. Like he's like a pit mix. So it's got the brown brindle, and like we don't know with what, something small. And we think he may be with like a Dawson, and so he's a pit wiener.
Pit wiener.
Yeah.
I said he's a peener.
Yeah, and we don't know that for sure, but he's mixed with something small, and he looks exactly like our big dog Buster, but a third of the size.
It's pretty wild.
If that.
Yeah, and so
He's got the cutest little face.
yeah, I brought him
He's
back.
not cockeyed like Buster, though.
No, I brought him back, and I called Hannah from there, and I was like, hey, I think I'm going to take this dog home.
And I said, no, just wait until I get off work. And you're like, they'll be closed. And I said, okay, then we'll go by Monday.
I was
I
like, no, they're
promise. We'll
closed.
go. I said, we'll go together, and I'd like to meet him before you try to bring him home.
And so I was just
Because
like,
I know how I am.
I was like, hey, can we like foster him and see like a trial run? And they're like, yeah, because I've like worked with them before, and they're like, that's fine.
Which you didn't ask me about.
I was just like, that's fine. And they're like, it's holiday weekend, it's New Year's Eve. They're like, we'll open on Monday. They're like, just bring him back Monday. And so we kept him. He's been great. He doesn't go in his crate. He goes to the bathroom outside whenever you open the door to let him out. So he's housebroken already, and she still didn't want to keep him, and she kept saying it. And so then we got this COVID thing to where we had to be tested again. So we had to call the Humane Society and say like, hey, it's going to be another day or two, and explained it. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. And so we told them we'd bring him in on today, Wednesday, and then this morning, Hannah's like, I stayed up all night last night and cried because we can't take him back. And I was about to take him back.
I told you, I cried myself to sleep around 3:30 this morning.
Yeah. And so now we have another dog.
Yeah, well, like you said, he's not cockeyed.
He's not.
So at the very least, you don't have to worry about Zach lying to you saying that it'll be fixed at some point. because Buster is
true.
still cockeyed.
He's still cockeyed.
If
and
not worse.
I was lied to for years. Years. I've been lied to about my dog's eyes.
You still tell her it'll be fixed?
No.
No, he gave up on that after year 3.
I don't even think I told her that far into it.
You did.
How old is he now?
He'll
like 6?
He'll be
Maybe 6.
6 on January 28th.
Yeah, Razor just turned 6.
Yeah.
I know Racer's like only a couple weeks older than Buster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's,
That's
why
my
they're best
dog,
friends.
Razor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know.
Well, I don't know that they know.
You pointed at the mic as
Yeah.
they. Yeah.
I don't know that they know.
Did you see I'm wearing my furry Crocs?
Oh, you got them.
Yeah.
They're
From my grandmother.
so ugly.
My grandmother.
Are they comfy?
Yeah.
I bet they keep your feet warm,
They
too.
do. They do. My grandmother, who is 89 and who asked.
The one who got COVID.
Well, I can't put these two together, but she's 89 and she asked for specifically for Christmas
From your mom.
Paris Hilton's Tease perfume because she said she bought it at Walmart and it smells nice. And
It's
so,
like she called it by name.
so that's what she got. She doesn't know who Paris Hilton is.
But she said tease perfume.
I'm sure that's exactly what Paris Hilton was hoping for.
I just looked at my dad and I was like, "What a slut!" And he thought it was really funny.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You don't wear those outside, do you?
No,
Okay, yeah.
these are indoors.
Yeah, those are indoors. Is that
Yeah.
all around the house? Or
Yeah.
is that just like...
It's all around. the
No,
house.
he
I don't-
doesn't have certain rooms.
I don't have
for
enough
those.
for per room yet.
That's still the dream.
That is the dream.
That is the dream to have just a pair of shoes set at the front of each room so you can just swap out.
Yeah, that's
Keep
a
them fresh.
Keep them
That's
fresh.
that's a dream.
Well, they
I'm
last
going-
longer that way, too.
I'm gonna crush that dream.
No,
And if I spend hundreds of dollars on some Crocs for him, you will not.
I will not. I will put them in my fire pit and roast marshmallows.
You will not.
you don't roast marshmallows in a fire pit. Well, in ours at least. You're talking about outside. I thought at first you were meaning like our fireplace.
I said fire pit.
I get that now. That was
fire
my
pit.
fault.
That
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen to that. Say it
All right.
again. Say it
We
again.
don't hear that a lot.
We don't. We don't. Say it again.
That's because generally that should show you how
This
many
may
times
be
that I'm wrong.
This may be the one episode I go back and listen to.
Wow.
She's never gonna
Just to
listen
hit it
to
on
this
like
yet.
hit replay.
Yeah.
Rewind that.
God is alive.
Just so everyone knows, we have all seen Spider-Man No Way Home, but we're not going to talk about it on here. We were talking about it before we started recording.
If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. Go see it.
Yeah, just like put a shirt on and get soaked.
Super soaker.
So this is the first time we're recording in a while before another episode comes out. But actually, All Stars episode 9 will be coming out about the time most of you hear this.
Is that the final episode?
I don't know. No,
it wouldn't
because,
be. It wouldn't be.
because at the end of this episode,
Right.
he said there's another elimination.
Right. Yeah. That's
So-
stupid question.
It was a stupid question.
That's my fault.
So
That's my fault.
Hey,
yeah,
but you take accountability a lot.
If I'm good at anything, I'm really good at taking responsibility for my actions.
Yeah. You are really good at that.
Made
like,
a lot
like
of-
immediately.
Made a lot of bad decisions in my life, but I've made one great one over the last few weeks. We'll get into it another time.
Accepting Jesus into your heart.
that is really loud.
Clap.
That is really loud. Well, let's kick off this episode. Speaking of, Tech gets saved at the beginning of the episode.
Yes, he did.
Like he said, he was in church. We're not going to rehash everything, but Kohada got screwed and sent home, and so Tech did get saved.
Still upset about it.
I tell you what's stupid is, I don't know, we got the same exact elimination that should have happened last week, right?
Did we?
That was Latarian and Jasmine against Nehemiah.
Oh, you mean like matchup wise?
Yeah.
I thought you meant
Yeah.
like the game they were playing, and I was like, I didn't even realize that they had shown what they were doing.
They didn't.
But
but
yeah.
yes, you're right.
But you just lost Kohada and Casey in the mix of it. Again, I think there's got to be more behind that story because it just doesn't make sense to do Kohada like you did. So, Tech saved. They get back in the room. They do the save the palace, which
I'm really over that.
well,
to be honest with
I was
you.
gonna say shout out to I believe it was Cassie who sent us a picture of a bunch of cookies she made, but put the Tech version of the song over the video and sent it to us. And I was like, honestly, production wise, like they did a good job with it. Like, it doesn't sound bad, the tech song, but I only heard that one clip. But
you said you're getting tired of the Sacred Palace.
Yeah.
Wasn't it last week that we just got into it, and I said I could see how it would be annoying.
Yeah, I mean, like this is like 4 episodes in a row.
And this whole episode, I don't think Nehemiah had a confessional without referring to himself as the king.
Oh, I see. I didn't even.
I didn't notice.
Right.
Well,
I did notice he kicked out John A. when she entered their room.
All right, so I here's the thing. Going into this episode, as soon as the episode aired, Nehemiah posted a picture of him and John A. together. And I was like, well, God. I was like, well, of course, this is what everyone does. As soon as the episode goes live, they post some big thing as like, oh, got sent home or this whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, they're not on a team. What happened? And so I was like, I bet they get into it, and then one of them goes home. Well, that's not what happened.
No.
I didn't even go back and read the caption because I was afraid to read it because I didn't want any spoilers. But then Nehemiah appeared on Wes's Patreon recap. Mm-hmm. Even though I know they're friends, but he hasn't been on any of the other ones, so I was like, man, I bet Nehemiah goes home. Complete misdirect on everyone's side. It
was nothing.
No, I'm assuming he was
nothing.
saying like, me and John A are cool. Like, it wasn't a malicious thing. I'm just inferring. I have no idea what it said.
Well,
he did kick John A out of their celebration though.
Yeah.
And then she went to Janelle and Brad, and
I don't like Janelle.
Janelle was like, "Don't worry about it," blah, blah, blah. And John A was like, "It's okay. I no longer have a soul. I'm no longer sensitive." And I was like, "Golly, that's pretty harsh."
I think it was kind of tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I made a note that she kind of looked like it still hurt her feelings just a little bit.
Well, basically the house is split 50-50. There's 3 teams on each side now that Cohuta's gone. Cohuta was kind of the tipping point of 4-on-3. After, I don't even remember exactly what happened at this point. I know why later, but Tech at one point says that he has to keep Alana cool. I get what happened later. He has to do that. I don't remember why he said that up at the beginning. I guess it's just foreshadowing.
I think she was just upset about the fact that they were about to have they were about to go into elimination, but they got saved.
And she was upset about that?
I think she was upset that they were voted in.
By the way, I think Alana might be a serial killer.
She's wild.
Well,
Yeah.
after this episode, I was like, what a psychopath.
She is wild.
But Tex said, he's like, I have 2 challenges, the game and keeping Alana cool.
I guess that's what it was.
And then he tells her to take a mental health day.
But not like, he didn't say that to her face, like it was confessional, right?
No, he was saying it to her.
Oh, did he? I don't remember.
Because she was stressing out, and he's like, it's okay to take a mental health day. Everybody has to do it. Just kind of lay down, relax, chill out. Like, he was telling her all kinds of stuff.
You know what? I remember that now because I was like, I think they might be about to do it. Because, like, she's really into him.
Yeah.
And,
And I think
he seems just DTF
yeah, he's
all
just
the
like,
time.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I think he's kind of getting over
He's like,
her.
I like to be naked. Who cares? But I think also he's just like, that might come back to haunt me because she might kill me while I'm asleep.
Yeah.
So we get to the daily. It's called Dive and Conquer. Different cenote. Third cenote. We're just racking up the cenotes this season.
Hey, that's a Spanish word. Do you think Winston knows that word?
No.
Zach's been upset with me because I've been speaking Spanish to the new dog.
No. Let's just dive into this real quick.
And then I
No. Hold on a second. We were downstairs, and he doesn't know a lot of commands because he's
We don't know English.
Exactly.
He's a
he doesn't
puppy.
know any commands, and so she's like, I wonder if he just knows another language. And I was like, you think just inherently he knows another language?
You never know.
And why Spanish?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure my cat used to speak Spanish. I would speak Spanish to her frequently.
Yeah, that's not her speaking Spanish.
Anyway, so like I've been talking to the puppy, and I can't tell if he understands me, so I started switching to Spanish.
Which is gonna, again, if anything, that's gonna make it worse. It's gonna confuse him more.
Well, he didn't.
For second of all, because she doesn't even really speak Spanish.
He didn't respond much to the Spanish phrases I was using. And so then I was like, well, maybe he speaks French. And I got his attention, and I said, parlez-vous français? He was not having it.
What, French?
Do you speak
speak French?
I knew that phrase. Probably couldn't tell you much more beyond that.
I know a cheese omelet is omelette du fromage.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I can't verify it. I'm sure we have some Canadian listeners They could probably, dive
Oh,
into
some
that.
French Canadians listening.
Yeah.
Not the English Canadians.
Well,
French Canadians.
There's no life shield
Right.
because there was no elimination winner. And so this is basically like a mini final. You're tethered to your partner. You have to go down, jump in a hole, swim to a puzzle key, and then come back out. And TJ said it's a mile round trip.
Yeah, that's
a lot.
brutal.
I was, and then I was like, well, that's not too bad. And then I saw what they had to memorize, and I was like, man,
It's
I
tough.
was like, that is really hard because it's not just like a blue skull and then an orange one and like
It's
25
like 4
of those.
colors on each skull.
Yeah.
just
It's
about.
like yellow horns, like orange in the middle, blue like snout, and it's like that's really
and
hard.
like we get into it later. Like towards the end, Jody freaks out and she's like, "I didn't even notice some of them have horns, and the horns are different colors
yeah, she
from
didn't
the
notice
head."
that the colors were different. She was just, I think she was just like, okay, blue, green, orange,
Yeah.
but not like all in the same thing. Which that's what made it so hard. And
This was a tough daily.
yeah, especially with if it was like a quarter mile round trip, or something that's whatever. But like a mile each way,
That's rough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's rough.
for a daily. It's tough.
So, I don't have a lot of ongoing things. I do have that Mama Jazz can't jump.
Yeah.
When the first jump into the water, out of every team, Jody and Brad were the only team that didn't put on a life jacket.
Which they should have because they had to tread water for a long time.
Yeah, they should have because you think about how long they.
You're just wasting energy.
That's what I said. I was like, for how long they had to stay there and try and memorize the colors and the patterns.
Weren't they the first there?
Yeah, they were the
They
first
were.
ones there. And I told Zach, I said, that's a waste of energy that they could be using for swimming and running.
Well, I was like, maybe they just did it because they were the first ones. They didn't realize how like intense this puzzle was going to be. But then I think they did it every other time too. They just were like, jump in. So I don't know what song was playing in the background. I'm sure someone will tell me. It sounded very much like a DuckTales theme song.
It was very 80s.
Yeah, Huey Lewis and the News-ish. Sounded like it could have been on like Oliver and Company, but it was very DuckTales-ish.
They'd have been fine playing Return of the Mac or something.
That's your favorite
That was
song?
last season.
Yeah, they could play that every episode.
Yeah,
It's a good song.
One of my only notes about this daily was in the middle of this, Latarian walked by Ayanna and Tech to
Yeah,
get
I
to
got
his
that.
puzzle, and then she gets mad at him and calls him a cheater. And then Tech was like, he's not cheating, and even if he was, so what? We're in the same alliance.
Yeah, an interesting move by Ayanna to just yell at him about that. Jasmine rolls her ankle at some point and just kind of eats it, falls down, and so
It was all downhill from
Latarian
there.
just kind of like ties her shoes. And Latarian's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Like he's
He's
a
a
real nice
great
guy.
partner to have.
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
not going to get mad at you about anything. But Janelle at one point tries to like copy the team beside her and Jarrell like is like, "What are you doing? Like, we don't know that that's right. Like
Yeah.
that could screw our whole thing up because we're copying something else." I was like, "That move,
Yeah.
like she doesn't
Yeah.
think like that." And so that's when Jody noticed that the horns were different colors, so she freaked out. I gotta say, like MJ and John A winning this daily, like they
It
had to be
shocked
like,
me.
other than maybe Latarian and Jasmine, like the bottom team to like maybe do this.
Well, right before this daily, MJ has a confessional.
Maybe Tech and Ion.
Yeah.
MJ has a confessional where he said John A is an incredible physical competitor, and she also has a great political game. And I was like, I think that's the first time anybody said
I think
those
he's
things about
overstating
her.
that a little bit.
I don't know, man. It's weird how John A has come back and it's just
Yes.
Better than she ever
Yeah,
been.
yeah.
like not just better, she's really good.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
she's
and
become a new person.
she made a point like after they had because her and MJ win this daily, she had made a point about how she had just had some really bad partners,
yeah.
Zach and Jasmine,
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is
and I don't remember.
true in like completely different ways, but yes, both
Yes.
bad people to be partnered with.
Yeah, and so I don't know. Maybe she just got a bad shake, and I'm sure a lot of it's maturity and just growing up.
Was she only on pairs seasons?
Let me pull that up.
She
for
was
you,
she was
Zach.
on Battle of the Seasons, wasn't she?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Which would have been a 4-person team.
Was
But
the,
her real world season's kind of weak too because it's Jasmine and
the
Derek.
the season that she was dating or hooking up with Zach, was that when she was partnered with Jasmine?
That call kind of blurs together because then she was partnered with Zach later.
Yeah, because they were exes.
Yeah. I don't remember. Jake's pulling it up.
So she was on Rivals, which would have been Jasmine.
Okay.
Battle of the Seasons. I
Yeah.
can pull up here in a second. What we got Rivals 2. Can't remember who she was with there. Free Agents. And then Battle of the Exes 2, which would have been Zach. So on Battle of the Seasons she had CJ, Derek, and Jasmine. Looks like.
That's not a strong team. Like, CJ's arguably your best physical. I mean, he is your best physical guy. But he even wasn't that great.
Nani was her partner in Rivals 2.
Again, typically someone who doesn't
That's
do
right.
great on stuff.
I remember that now.
And then Free Agents, it's a free-for-all thing. I mean, her elimination record is 2-5.
Her and Jasmine did beat Sarah and Katelin in an elimination, though.
And Katelin's kind of was like a poison pill. Anyone who was on her team just kind of lost.
Yeah.
So if you take that win in an elimination out, she's 1-5.
Yeah.
Not great. And then she lost in the Battle of the Exiled with Zach, I believe. It is crazy that, after all this time coming back, post baby, not as in a good a shape as you were when you're early 20s, that type of stuff. She's just better at it now.
Yeah. She's got the mom strength.
But it's not even just that. I don't even know. It's like it's something that you can't put your finger on.
Well, she just in general seems like more headstrong.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Whereas before she just kind of let
she's
fragile.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say frazzled. Miss
Frizzled. And
Frazzle Rock.
which is
Fraggle
not
Rock.
which is not to take a shot at her. It's just, she got rattled by more dominant voices.
Yeah.
And almost like went into a shell, right?
It was almost like she was easily pushed over. And I'm seeing a lot this season where she's not really taking that so much. And even in like her and MJ's deliberations for who they're going to nominate for elimination, she's trying to like consider pulling power moves.
Well, and to be fair, the season she was on before, all the people that are on All Stars, other than Alyana, who's a complete wild card in the most unknown sense, like everyone here is pretty level-headed. Like they're not trying to like really like manipulate you on like an emotional level and things like that. Which is what happened a lot on past seasons when you're younger and all drunk and whatever. Like, the people are more grown up now, so maybe that's just it's a better environment. Although, again, everyone who lived with Alyana through this has been like she's the worst person to live with.
But I guess if you exclude her, it's like living in a house full of mature adults. Most of them have kids,
and most of them know, like
careers.
it's a game. We're all in our 30s now.
A lot of us have history.
Yeah.
We've been friends for 10, 15 years.
Yeah. It's not the same thing. So MJ and John A win. Big win for them because that kind of sets up their alliance basically going forward for this episode. And then Latarian and Jasmine lose because, I mean, Jasmine even said all she's got is heart. Like, Jasmine coming into this season, I was like, oh, she's definitely bottom tier competitor.
Yeah.
But to be fair, we said that about John A last season.
Then she came in
She
second.
didn't even get drafted, did she?
No, she didn't. John A did not get drafted last season.
And she came in second place for the women in the final.
Yeah. Again, complete shock. Like that.
I love it though.
No, it's great
because like I've always kind of liked John A.
But again, Jasmine proved the rule though.
Who got first place for the women?
Kellyanne.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No money though.
Yeah. Still don't agree with that.
We get to the nominations and MJ and John A are talking. By the way, Nashville team, Nashville strong.
Man, that's our rooting. That's who we're rooting
That's
for.
our
right?
rooting.
That's our rootin' tootin'.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Our rootin' tootin'
Yeah.
team.
I mean, they're partner for the rest of the show.
Tennessee
Yeah.
strong, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're seeing the Grizzlies are doing great.
Oh, look, we gotta get on this. By the way, John Morant, absolutely insane. But also, team playing unbelievably without him. 10 out of 12 games. But only team in the NBA that's beat the Warriors and the Suns and the Bucks. Or have we beat the Bucks yet?
Have we played the Bucks?
There
was another
team. It may not be in the Bucks, but it's one of the Nets has been one, but it's one of the top teams. Like we beat.
Yeah.
We're the only team that's beat all of them, and the 4 seed in the West after having a ton of injuries. Yeah.
Before tonight, they were 5 games ahead of the 5 seed.
Yeah. I think we
only 3 games behind the Jazz.
Yeah, and so also Coach Jenkins, Coach of the Month, arguably shot at Coach of the Year.
Let me tell y'all something.
Mike Vrabel has a shot at Coach of the Year. Titans are the number 1 seed.
Tennessee,
I was about to bring in the
Derrick
Titans.
Henry practiced today.
And Julio Jones is back this week too.
Yeah, who cares? He's been worthless this year. But anyway.
At least having him on the field.
Sure,
but
yeah.
Derrick Henry's coming back.
Derrick Henry. Hey, listen, it's a good time to be a Tennessee fan.
89 players on the Titans roster this year.
I'm going to tell y'all this. I think Ja is going to bring a title to Memphis.
I do too.
I really do.
Kenny Perkins does.
Memphis is going to lose its freaking mind.
I'm not. He is legitimately a superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is who's more competitive than him in the league? I'm talking about like ain't afraid of nobody. Will go for your throat.
Yeah.
Every time down the court.
Dylan Brooks.
And now
Dylan Brooks would think that. Yeah.
He's knocking down threes like nobody's business.
He's shooting 80%
you can't guard him.
over like 5 games. He's shooting like 15 threes.
Because last season and the season before, it's just sit in the paint, man. Just sit in the paint. And
at one point, he was like 8 of 9 from 3 over 2 games.
And he's knocking. I mean, he's pulling up from deep and wetting them.
And then you got Desmond Bane, who's going to be most improved player. Desmond
Bane is a unit.
He's putting up Klay Thompson numbers.
My boy Brandon Clark is doing well this season.
He's been better. Steven Adams has been solid.
Yeah.
Just another 60 seconds here because nobody cares about the Grizzlies.
Don't care.
Yeah, don't care. If he hadn't missed 12 games, I would say he would be a shoo-in for an All-NBA team.
Yeah, I think he still might be.
He still might be, but I think it would be a definitive.
I saw people that were like, all right, Steph is for sure one of the starting guards in the West. They're like, who in the NBA deserves it 100% over Ja?
It's primarily fan vote,
yeah,
right?
That's the thing.
And he has to have one of the highest approval ratings because, like, everybody's watching the highlights of Ja.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing crazy stuff.
He had like 4 40-point games in a row and game winners over the Suns, and like he's just fearless. Like, he does not care. And
also, he's the kind of guy you want in the All-Star game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he'll be. I mean, he's going to be an All-Star regardless.
Yeah,
but
it's not like Brooke Lopez.
No, but I mean, he should be a starter in the All-Star game.
So to bring it full circle. It's something about Tennessee teams.
The Nashville Predators are also number 1 in there.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I haven't
Which we don't watch hockey,
but the Predators.
I watch the playoffs.
The Predators have been really good for a couple years. Like, they've been known to be good. So that being said, you got the Nashville Dream Team here. They could win it all.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's something about Tennessee teams this year.
Let's be completely fair. They are not even I'd say top 3 in the money on who's going to win the final if they make it to the final.
Yeah. Well,
they're not top 3.
I don't know, Zach.
They are not top 3.
You can make an argument.
Hey,
I don't
even know. I don't think you can make an argument.
I think you can make an
argument. This season, Johnny is in way better shape. Last season, she would not have said she was top 3, top 5, whatever. She made second place.
Brad and Jody,
clearly.
Darrell and Janelle.
Sure.
And then I'd put Nehemiah in.
But I think you could make the
Melinda.
argument right there. I think you could because
I think
her and Melinda are a wash. I think it comes down to Nehemiah and MJ, and I think Nehemiah is more recently experienced.
I think John A would do better than Melinda.
I would give the nod to John A over Melinda.
I'd give the heart maybe to John A over Melinda to not quit.
But we watched John A perform.
I have a feeling
MJ
final. Might gas out because he's a big dude.
He is a big dude.
Yeah,
but we love him.
I know. Nehemiah is just in better shape, so I would put Nehemiah and Melinda above that. But anyway. It seems like maybe a 4-team final.
Looks like it, Zach. It looks like it.
So in the nominations, MJ and John A do talk about that their alliance probably has the best chance to beat them in a final, which is true. Because the other 2 teams in their alliance are the 2 we just named.
Mm-hmm. And here's where I was saying about John A. It was her idea to consider throwing in Brad and Jody.
Well, and then MJ gave her the complete misdirect. He's like, F it, let's do it. And they're like, no, I'm just kidding. Let's.
Yeah.
Which it's not the right move. I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Jonna was a little upset. She's like, I'm worried this is going to be our last chance. Even if it was, considering you gotta look at who's already in elimination. Laterrian and Jasmine.
Yeah.
And I mean, Laterrian is going to be a tough matchup. Jasmine is not for Jody. So you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot by throwing in your alliance, the strong team that's keeping you safe, and having them turn on you.
Even if it's pole wrestle, which is like Laterrian's best shot, Brad and Darrell aren't going to go out in a pole wrestle like the other guys they've gone. It's not Ace and it's not Tyler.
Yeah.
And so I'd say it's a wash on pole wrestle because the other two probably have better endurance than Laterrian. And then the girl is just going to destroy I just lost her name. Jasmine. And so, like, yeah, if you throw in one of those teams, they're coming back.
Yeah.
And so
it would be a better idea to throw in the remaining 2/3 of the quote unquote King's Palace.
Agreed. Because in that way, you got to for sure.
You at least for sure are getting out one of those teams.
Yeah, you for sure are cutting their numbers down to where it's 3 teams versus 2.
Like, regardless, it's a win-win situation for anybody not in that alliance.
So they vote Ion and Tech, and then Nehemiah and Melinda, and then that's kind of what people expected. MJ, had a big thing earlier. He's like, I have my word, and, I'm going to stick by it, whatever. They have a 90s party, it seems. They've done a couple of these out at the pool area. And then we just get, like, a cut, like, smash cut to, like, Iona cleaning. And it's like Melinda's like sitting on the balcony, like watching Iona clean and like mutter to herself. And then they cut to the room, and like Jody's talking. It seems to be like almost the entirety of the rest of the house is in that one room. Like MJ's laying there, Janelle's in there, Jasmine's in there. Like it wasn't just one alliance, or like everyone's around there. And Jody and them are talking about how Iona keeps bringing up everyone's privilege, and she's like, who's privileged? Like, why do you get privilege and whatever? And it's just like, well, where's this coming from? And it's like, well, Hannah at first was like, I sympathize with Iona. I get why she wants to clean up.
What
whatever.
Iona was muttering outside at the very beginning was, you are going to eat out here, but you're not going to clean up after yourselves. You're not children. You're adults. You should throw your own trash away, which I fully agree. Like, if you are doing something that's making a mess, clean up after yourself. Don't leave it for somebody else to do for you.
Fair, but no one said, Iona, you need to clean this or whatever. Like, they didn't say they weren't going to come back, and that's what started the whole thing with the salad, was Jody was like, I left it to come back and eat it later. And so then they start going in on the salad thing, and Hannah's like, what happened with salad? And I was like, I don't really understand it yet.
I didn't hear it or fathom
So we rewinded it back and listened again, and it's just like all this over a Greek salad. So we just figured, she threw someone's salad away. Whatever. And Jody's like, I had a salad, and I didn't get to eat it. It got thrown away.
Then Jasmine walks outside and starts yelling at Iona.
Well, in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, and then she's like, who are you talking about with privilege? Like, we're all tired of this. And I was like, I don't know if Jasmine's like venting her frustration because she's going into elimination, or if they're that tired and Jasmine's the only one that's going to get in her face about it.
Which is what
Which is very possible.
That's what John A said.
Yeah.
She's like, Jasmine is the only one gutsy enough to say out loud what everybody else in the house is thinking.
She did have a line. I don't remember what it exactly was, but she's trying to talk to her, and Iona was just mumbling and like walked off. And Jasmine said something along the lines of, you're not my mom, you're not. And then she named her mom, and she was like, you don't get to talk to me like that. And I was like, I didn't expect a mom's name drop on here.
That was really funny. And then we get Tech, which he's real upset about it because earlier in the episode, he's talking about how one of his challenges is to keep her cool. He's worried that her going off on everybody like that is going to for sure get them thrown into elimination. And so in his confessional, he said, if I lose a chance at $500,000 because of a Greek salad, F you.
It reminded me of that blooper from Talladega Nights where he was just like, if you don't chew Big Red, you. And he's doing all the commercial parts. Uh-huh. But yeah, I was like, I was like, okay, I still didn't we didn't understand the context
Still
of the
didn't get it. I felt like we missed something.
But I was like, everyone clearly is fed up with living with Ayana at this point.
Right.
And so we go to the vote, and Melinda talks first, and she's like, I just want everyone to know that I'm just a source of positive energy, and, I wouldn't do things I wouldn't call out people's privilege. Clearly a shot at Ayana.
Yeah.
And then Ayana goes, I promised Tech that I wouldn't say anything, so I'm just going to let him talk. And then him and Nehemiah both kind of give their spiel, and we start the vote. And first of all, I was surprised that Ayana did not say anything then. Mm-hmm. But Jody and Brad split their vote because Brad and Nehemiah had that reconciliation.
Right.
Ultimately, it didn't matter because all the votes went to them anyway.
Well, Brad was the only person voting that did not vote for Nehemiah and Melinda.
Yeah. Which Nehemiah and Melinda are a bigger threat than Tech and Ayana, honestly, in a final.
But if one of those people is your real life friend outside of the house,
yeah,
I mean,
I wouldn't vote you in, Zach.
That's the thing.
Well, they're not on that level. Brad and Nehemiah are not that. I mean, they did talk about we'd go, see each other or whatever.
He's on a roll tonight. You know that?
I know.
He admitted that he was wrong early on in the pod, or that something was his fault, and then he just confessed to how close me and him are.
I know.
I think you're reading into things a little bit.
No, I think you guys could have been boyfriends before I came along.
We tried to play the newlywed
We
game
would have
together.
won.
We would have won.
I believe it, honestly.
We would have.
Like, I'm not exaggerating. I think you guys would have won.
We would have won.
So, yeah, especially because at that point, we'd known each other longer than any of them had known each
That's
other.
right. Yes.
The married people?
Screw these people, man.
So, anyway, Melinda and Nehemiah are the vote. And then, Ayana's like, I have a confession. And I was like, okay, it's going to be kind of like tongue-in-cheek, like, I'm wearing my uniform type thing. And then she just looks at Jody, and she's like, I just want you to know, Jody, I ate your salad. And I knew it was your salad. And it was delicious. And they were kind of all laughing, and I was like, this person is a psychopath.
And then she went farther on to say, I didn't even use a fork. I ate it with my hands.
Yeah.
But I think that's why they were laughing. I don't know if they legitimately thought it was funny. It was kind of more of like
I can't believe this is happening.
Crazy.
Yeah. I was like, that is like what a serial killer would look in your eyes and say.
It's the kind of laugh that like your body subconsciously does in a situation where you don't know how to respond.
Because Jody didn't laugh.
I think she was genuinely creeped out.
She was like, well, I paid for it, so I hope you enjoyed it. And she's like, I did.
Well, and in Jody's confessional, she's like, this was really creepy.
Dude, at that moment, I was like, oh, I would be uncomfortable living with this person. I was like, that is, like, it's funny. It's like, it's a good thing to watch as an audience.
It was so entertaining and so psychotic and
premeditated.
Like, yes, that's what made it funny, but also freaking insane. This was insane.
Also, taking it to another level, then to complain about everything else and knew that people were upset about this, and then to not acknowledge it or be like, yeah, I ate your salad, I thought you were done with it, whatever, to just like sit on it and let it stew for like a day, and then to bring it up later, and it's like, I got a confession. And I was like, man, this person is a lunatic. And,
crazy.
Yeah, great. It's great to watch, though.
Yeah.
How's
that for
arguably
entertaining?
one of the most entertaining people on the season.
Yeah, no, she is. She's definitely made her mark.
Yeah,
for sure.
We will never forget her.
No. So, yeah, again, going back to the elimination with Leah, where she's like, Mom strength. Like, she's had some highs and lows in this season.
Yeah.
So we get to the elimination. It's called Like Clockwork.
I just started thinking about when she had the live shield and they lost that daily, and she threw Sophia in, and she's like, it's a gift.
Yeah. Like, she's a lunatic. Like, she lives in like an alternate reality from every. It's so funny to watch.
She said, it's a gift.
And Sophia's like, what are you talking about?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Jeez.
And then her screaming on the daily like it's all over the place.
There's so many things going on with her.
She is last season with what's the girl that quit and wanted to fight Beth?
What was her name?
Alyssa.
Arissa was like crazy, it seemed, but not in a like entertaining way. Like Iana's just like pure chaos, but it's fun to watch.
Because you never know what
Like,
you're
it could be
gonna get.
good. It could be like oh, what are you doing? Or it could just be like just in the middle. I don't know. And then like great eliminations.
Yeah.
Again, almost everything you could want out of a challenger. So again, it's called Light Clockwork. The winners will receive the last life shield, which guarantees that no matter what happens the next daily, they're all the way into the final. So this is a big elimination. And so it basically, there's like 6 keys on the ground, and you have to figure out which one is the correct one and then use the gears to make everything spin. And sand is falling the whole time. There's not a lot of strategy in this one, to be honest. You just have to pick a key and hope you pick the right one before the other team does, and then turn all your gears. Now, I will say, it did seem like Melinda was able to just kind of decipher which pieces go where based on size and whatever. So she said she had it on her a game like this on her phone, so it helped. They did play Darude Sandstorm in the background. You know that song?
I don't.
Oh, you would know that song.
You would. This elimination
it's a good
was
song,
interesting because it wasn't like physical or mental, really. Even it was more of an elimination based on communication. Like, how well can you communicate with your partner?
I played it for Jake.
Oh, I heard this in some.
This is like
Yeah,
Jeyyy movie.
everybody knows the song.
Yeah.
It's probably in the first Fast and Furious.
Probably, or yeah, some like
I could see that being in Tokyo Drift.
yeah, like again, like that song playing in the background made complete sense because it's sand.
Yeah,
Right.
So
it's a good catchy little song though.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was playing that.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I was saying this elimination is not much of a physical or mental elimination. It's just strictly communication. How well can you communicate with your partner in order to not get frustrated and totally drop the ball?
And also a lot of luck, like just picking the right key first. It kind of reminded me of that one elimination that Dee did against Ashley, and I believe War of the World, or maybe in Total Madness, where you had to like smash those pots and just hope you got the pieces before the other person did.
Right.
Like,
I don't like eliminations.
I don't like
that.
eliminations that luck is
It's
a part
purely
of
up to. A lot of it is chance.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just who happens to get to one thing above the other. And so, yeah, I don't typically like these. Honestly, when this started, I looked at Hannah and I was like, this is a crapshoot. Like, either team could win.
Hey, it's
Yeah.
better than tic-tac-toe, though.
It is better
Yes.
than tic-tac, 100%.
A literal race to a tic-tac-toe board.
That they just added
Fire
suits.
for no reason.
Yeah.
I think we did that in elementary school.
Fire?
Fired tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nehemiah and Melinda win. Like, there wasn't anything to like break down. It wasn't
No.
like, oh, can
Nothing.
you believe that they did this? Like,
Outside of the win, I gave him no fantasy points.
I wrote
in this
Darude.
elimination.
I wrote winners receive last life shield. Darude Sandstorm. Nehemiah and Melinda win.
That's it.
There's nothing else.
I didn't even write that much.
But they get to go straight to the final. So shout out to Nehemiah. We like Nehemiah.
This is Melinda's first final.
That's because she's been with Danny every time else.
Boy. Real kiss of death that Danny is.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a level
Even for
up.
himself, never won an elimination.
Yeah.
One of the worst people to ever be on the show, especially for how highly he thought of himself.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Melinda making her first final for sure, unless, something weird happens and they just disqualify somebody again without any reason. Yeah, Nehemiah and Melinda are in the final. It seems like there's one more elimination, so someone else is going to be going home, one more team. And then it seems like, I'm guessing 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Because it's episode 8. So one more 9, and I believe 10 final. You could have a 10 and 11, but since this is not on cable, it wouldn't surprise me if they just did like an extended episode 10. And just did the whole final in one thing.
I could see that.
Because they don't have commercial times to fill and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, it's a solid episode. Like, I know some people are pretty down on this season, and maybe compared to All Stars 1, it wasn't as good, but it's still, it's a lot better than most of the recent seasons.
I think All Stars 1 was so perfect that this season was probably going to be a letdown no matter what.
Yeah, you would have to almost just like hit a home run on every single thing.
Yeah.
I would put them really close in ranking had they not done what they did to Cohutta.
Shout out to Mark Long for tagging us in a big appreciation post he did, because I was thankful from all of us for All-Stars 1 and 2. And then I was like, hey, you need to come on Zoom and talk with us about it sometime. And he always likes those things, but then it never happens.
Never happens.
One time, like 2 years ago, he was like, it'll happen soon. Oh. And then you guys yell at Mark Long. He deserves it.
At him.
Yell at him.
But
everybody go find where he lives.
Be nice about it.
Drop
and
in the
just
comments.
Yell at him so he can hear you.
My mom looked up who Mark Long was the other day, because I don't remember how we got on it. And she was like, he's 50. And we were like, yeah.
Yeah. She pulled up a picture. She's like, wow.
Yeah.
Your mom finds Mark attractive, huh?
Well, she didn't say, it was just like how ripped he was. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
just
she
how,
was
like,
just
huge.
astonished.
Yeah.
I bet she found him attractive.
Yeah, she might have. I didn't ask that.
Maybe. She's what, 62?
She'll be 64 next month.
Oh, she's 63.
You should have asked her when you pulled the picture up.
She pulled it up.
Or when she pulled it up.
Yeah, she pulled it up on her phone.
You should have been like, what you think?
I didn't say that.
That's his mommy, so it's a little weird.
It's just Mark. It's not like Zach with a shirt off or something.
This is Mark. So let's get into superlatives, unless anybody's got any final words for this episode.
No.
Great. Superlatives, who smashed them heads?
Ayana to Jody.
I'm going to give it to Latarian. He showed you that no matter the circumstance, you can always be kind enough to bend over and tie your partner's shoes.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to I'll give it to Nehemiah for not only made the final, but also complete misdirect to me by posting the picture of him and John A. It just threw me off, which is good because I don't want to know before we watch the episode. So who got their head smashed?
Two sides of the same coin. Jody, she was called privileged. One thought her salad was thrown away, then found out it was actually purposefully eaten, knowing that it was hers. She was not recompensated for that. And then she found out that she probably needs to start sleeping with one eye open, since Ayana was not one of the people that went home.
Do you have to say recompensated? Isn't that just because compensated is you being paid for something?
Right.
Recompensated would be, I think it's just too much.
The Tylenol PM is kicked in.
I'll give it to Jody for a different reason. At one point during that daily, she just fell down really hard.
Oh, she did. I forgot about that.
Yeah. She also just didn't realize there was other colors on the the board.
Yeah.
Jody had a tough time this episode.
Yeah, she
Again,
did.
she's been living with Ayana for a while. She might be kind of out of it. Yeah, I'll give it to myself, just cause Ayana's, she's like a Tasmanian devil of just like he personifies chaos. He seems like a nice guy down deep, but he just, everywhere he goes, he leaves a path of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she is.
Okay.
And you know, I don't think he ever tried to sleep with Tech, but you know, I haven't watched Looney Tunes in a while.
Right.
So I do follow him on Twitter though, and
That's good.
so you ready to hop on in?
Yeah, bub. It's after midnight, so it's almost 1.
It is.
So I'm ready to blow right through this. So
To be fair, you didn't get here at almost 11.
that's on me.
And then you had to play with the puppy for a while.
That's on me. Shout out to Winston. So this segment is brought to you by Put a Shirt On.
Get wet. Super soaker.
That's really funny, isn't it? All right, we're going to give 15 points to Tech because just like a heathen on a Sunday morning, he got saved.
Did you almost call him Heck?
Tech. Yeah, I think I did. Let's see. But he referenced Ayana too because he said we've been saved. So give 15 to Ayana too. Save the Palace is getting old. -10 to Nehemiah, Melinda, Jasmine, and Tech. That is -10. You got them all?
Melinda. So not Latarian.
He wasn't in there.
Okay. Okay. So you're just doing who is in there currently.
Johnny got kicked out of the room. -5. Nehemiah is bringing the real street code to the challenge. 5 points. Tech is a source of joy per Ayanna. 10 points to Tech. We're going to give 5 points to John A. For the confidence. She knows she can beat Jody. Don't know if that's so.
Yeah.
But we'll give her points for confidence. Also, 10 points to her for the little growth montage. We get a finger W from MJ. 5 points. Not quite the same sort of W with your fingers like Jameis Winston, but
he didn't eat it.
Yeah. Jody falls down really hard. -5. When MJ first jumped down into the water, he shouted like Mario, "Yahoo!"
I heard that.
Yeah.
I forgot about it though.
It's 5 points.
To me, that sounded more like the old like Disney cartoons where like Goofy goes off a ski lift.
Okay.
And it's just
Yeah.
like, Yahoo!
Well, 5 points nonetheless.
Are we all doing impressions now?
Oh boy.
I can't do that.
That was Donald Duck.
Yeah. Did you get 5 to MJ?
Yes.
Oh, okay. 15 to Jasmine because she jumped. She did it. 10 points to Ayanna and Latarian for their little spat. Ayanna thought he was cheating. Jasmine falls down too. -5. May have rolled an ankle. -5. But 15 to Latarian for tying her shoes for her.
That's 7.5 per shoe.
Yeah. Jasmine's going to keep going, though, even though she's in pain. 10 points. Ayanna, by her way of memorizing these things, she had one memorized and referenced it as "Pretty Boys Really Push."
It was like a mnemonic device.
Give her 20 points. That's pretty good.
Is that the right word? Mnemonic device?
Yeah, she said mnemonic devices is how she memorizes stuff like that.
Maybe bubonic.
That's a plague.
Yeah, that is the plague.
Janelle's looking over and Darrell's mad. -10 to Janelle. Jody is confusing the F out of Brad. -10 to both of them.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. He's just like, I just don't know what you're talking about.
We're going to give 15 to Tech and Ayanna because they're like an old married couple, which is what we all long to be, right?
Well, he said except that they should have been divorced.
He said they're like an old married couple that's been married for 50 years but should have divorced 25 years ago.
But they can't leave each other.
Yeah. Well, MJ and John A win. That's 25 points. Do we give out points for being safe too? 25 and 15? That's what we've been doing, right?
I'm pretty sure.
I believe so. Yeah, but there's no life shields. There's
right.
Yeah.
But you don't get life shields for winning daily.
I know.
So 25 and 15 to MJ and John A. Let's see. We get the W fingers from MJ again. 5 points. Darrell said performancely. -10. Latarian is all kinds of exhausted. -10. We get happy tears from Jody. 5 points. -25 to Latarian and Jasmine. They go straight in. MJ hadn't felt this good in a minute. 10 points. We get sad Jasmine. -5. She then starts to question herself. Am I really an all-star, she said. -10.
I don't remember what she said, but Jody was like, no, you're real good. Yeah. I was like, this wasn't convincing.
MJ is a Hulkamaniac. He's a man of his word. 10 points.
Did he say Hulkamaniac?
No, I said it.
Okay.
He did
I was like, I definitely don't remember that reference.
Yeah. But he could have made a big move. -5. -15 to Tech, Ayanna, Nehemiah, and Melinda because they all got nominated. You got them?
Not yet. I mean, I'll get there. I got them.
Okay. Tech needs 2 drinks. -5. Ayanna can't be in her fantasy world with trash. -10. Let's see. 10 points to Jasmine and Ayanna for their spat. 15 points to Jasmine for the quote, "It's a Greek mother effing salad." Mm-hmm. And Tech is about to break. -5.
You think he's listening to Linkin Park?
Yeah. Melinda is a positive source of energy. 10 points. Ayanna passed the mic. Didn't speak. 10 points. Negative 25 to Nehemiah and Melinda. They get voted in. Nehemiah is a king again, supposedly. Negative 5. Ayanna ate Jody's Greek salad. I'm going to give her 15 points, and also Jody negative 15.
In that situation, if you were to find out that someone maliciously ate your salad rather than it just being thrown away, would you be more upset that they ate it, or would you be more upset if it was just thrown away?
They knew that it was my salad, unopened, untouched, and they ate it knowing that it was mine that I had not eaten yet, and didn't ask me if I still wanted it. That's worse than throwing it away.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
Because at least if they throw it away, they think, oh, she probably didn't want it, or she is done eating, full, whatever.
What if she ate it and didn't and thought you were done versus just throwing it away?
Ate the rest of it because she thought I was done?
Yeah.
I would be totally fine with that because I don't like wasting food.
Oh, are we moving back on?
Yeah. I was ready.
Okay. Let's see.
To the listeners, Jake just nodded his head because this is a not visual podcast, so everybody knew that you agreed with that.
Right. Well, Ayanna went on this whole rant about how she's going to love that salad. 10 points. Jody's creeped out. Negative 5. Tech wants to throw Ayanna into elimination. Negative 10 to Ayanna. Nehemiah with the quote, "A king will still be winning" when talking about the elimination. Negative 10 because he's got to stop doing this. It's too much. You're beating a dead horse, man.
They're too much theme.
Huh?
There's too much theme. Everything is themed with palace or kings.
Yeah,
or
we got to stop now. And it looks like the next episode starts off with more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did you not see
why
it?
would it not?
I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of negative points there, I can already tell you, because I'm sick of it. Let's see. According to TJ, Nehemiah and Melinda smoked Latarian and Jasmine on the walk-in.
Yeah.
15 to Nehemiah and Melinda. Negative 15 to Latarian and Jasmine. Again, not a lot happened during the elimination, so 75 points to Nehemiah and Melinda for the win. And negative 50 to Latarian and Jasmine for the loss. This is Melinda's first time making a final. 20 points.
Hold on. Here we go.
I'm moving quick, ain't I?
I'm here. I'm good.
Boy.
He caught up.
Latarian didn't win the challenge, but he effing won. I guess talking about his friends and stuff. 15 points. My man uses the F word with power.
Yeah, it's got meaning behind it.
Yeah.
And he uses it like every other word, too.
Yeah. Nehemiah and Melinda get life shields, 20 points. And we are going to give them 100 points each for going straight to the finals. So that means whoever else goes to the finals next episode, they'll get 100 too. Or the final.
The NBA.
Made it to the NBA finals.
The NBA finals.
So, that, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, just for reference, Hannah doesn't have Nehemiah or Melinda, so she did not get all those points.
No.
Just
Oh, my God.
And I lost a player.
She looks like she lost a ton of points, too.
Yeah, she did.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, Hannah.
I may not even be on the board anymore.
Yeah, you may be in the
Darrell
negative.
got negative 10.
You may be in the negative, hand. Yeah, put on a shirt, get wet, Super Soaker. We'll be right back. And we are back. And one more time. For one of the last times, shout out to our sponsor, put on a shirt, get wet.
Super Soaker.
What we got, Zach?
Lots of negative points this week.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't wait
Not
to
even
see.
not just Hannah.
I can wait. I can do
wait
all the waiting.
to see what happened to Han here.
Honestly, not as bad as it could have been.
Well, thank God.
But not good either.
Honestly, all of the top people got negative points.
How about that?
So, Darrell, negative 10.
Yeah, boy.
John A, 50.
Okay.
Hey.
Won the daily, though.
Thanks,
Jasmine, negative 80.
Oh, jeez.
So you ended up with negative 40 for the week.
Okay.
So from there, Brad got negative 10. Nehemiah only ended up with 140, even though he got 175 just for basically winning. But he had a lot of negative early on. So you only end up with 140.
You got to stop with the palace stuff. You got to stop it.
Apparently, he's not going to.
Latarian, -60. Janelle, -10. Ayanna, 70. So I ended up with 130 for the week. Jody, -30. MJ was 70.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Tech with 5. And then Melinda with 190.
How about Melinda,
Wow.
dog?
Well, so what happened was, other than being nominated and like a couple little things, like the palace stuff at the beginning, all her scoring was positive. And so she got 75
for winning.
And then 20. Wait, why'd she get 2 20s?
So she got 20 for the live shield and then 20 because it was her first time ever
final.
making
Okay,
the
that's.
final.
I was trying to figure out why Nehemiah only had 120. She had 2. That's what it was. Yeah. So she ended up with a ton of points at the end, just out of nowhere. Yes, literally, if she all of that was after the elimination. So she ended up with 190. So Jake for the week got 235, which means Hannah is still in third place
in double digits now.
No. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking you meant triple. She is back to double digits at 80.
Yeah.
She had 40 after week 1, just for reference.
Han, you were averaging 10 points a week.
That is true.
Holy God.
I have 890, but now Jake is in first with 910 on the back of Melinda. Who would have expected that to happen?
Me and Zach are coming down to the wire here.
Yeah, it is.
This has got to be one of the worst fantasy showings I've ever seen.
It's got to be one of the
I
most
don't even wanna do this
lopsided
anymore.
compared to, like, me and you are neck and neck, like dead even. And then
Your team is worthless. I mean, outright worthless. I mean, good Lord. Darrell ain't doing a thing for you.
Darrell is her big chance. But, I mean, there's no way you can win. I don't think it's possible you can win unless you give someone 1,000 points for winning the final.
So now you'd simply have Darrell and John A. That's it.
Yeah.
Zach has...
I don't even want to play anymore.
I have Brad, Nehemiah.
I don't want to play
Brad,
anymore.
Nehemiah, Janelle, and Ayanna.
some real, like...
That's good odds for me.
Yeah.
And then you've got Jody, MJ, Tech, and Melinda. I'd say I've got the best chance.
You do. Jody's the only one I think that has a real shot.
I think
at
Jody
winning
could,
for me.
but the thing is, if it's teams, I'm tethered to Jody with Brad. And so we would split those points, essentially.
Yeah.
I think I've got a pretty good chance of winning overall because I think Hannah's got the second best odds, maybe in the first best as far as a winner with Darrell, but I don't think it's not going to be enough for her to make a difference in this one.
I don't want to play anymore.
Well, it's on it. I mean, Cohutta, Tyler, Kendall, 3 of the top 4 gone.
And here's what's crazy. The next week on the challenge teased that Janelle isn't going to compete with a bad back.
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
she says she's got a bad back. We don't know that she's not going to compete. That could be a misdirect,
Which would, for fantasy purposes, would work out perfect for me because you would think they would send both of them home, which you each lose someone, and I stay even.
But that means that I've got the best chance at someone winning because then Brad's main competition's gone.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any way. Even if Janelle's hurt, I think they let Darrell stay because we talked about that. I don't think Darrell would let them send him home at this close to a final if his partner got hurt. He'd pitch a fit about it, rightfully so. Cohutta should have.
And then MTV or Challenge Production is like, you know what? Everybody else, keep your partners. Darrell can go. He can compete in the final without a partner.
I love Cohutta. Cohutta is not Darrell in the realm of the challenge world.
No, he's not.
And so they got some more leverage in that. But that could just be like, oh no, Darrell's partner's in trouble, and
Is
then she may have she may have a miraculous oh they did so good type thing. You never know. But it does seem like it's Jake and I are separated by 20 points, which in Hannah's that's 2 whole weeks of scoring.
On average, it is, Han. You couldn't.
I don't think if you went in with the purpose of having the worst team that you could have picked this bad.
I don't think you could have picked a worse team. I just don't. It is amazing because it's bizarre, Han. Wow.
Because even Darrell just doesn't score. He had nothing. And I mean, to be fair though, Brad didn't have anything this week, and Jody got Jake negative, but Jody did score. She had more scoring.
I thought my top people were good picks. Like Cohutta
at 2 is a reach.
But he should have gotten me more points. He was disqualified because his partner got pregnant. Totally nothing I could have ever.
I do agree with that. But Cohutta and Tyler back to back as 2 and 3 was a little bit of a reach because just for reference, I got Nehemiah and Tina, and Jake got Jody and MJ.
I didn't know MJ.
Yeah. Well, honestly, this is a great showing for MJ so far.
He's been good.
I took Kendall, who has been pretty good at this.
Yeah, I know.
But she was medically DQ'd.
It is COVID related. That's out of her control. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying Cohutta and Tyler. And I love both of them. Tyler and Cohutta.
I love Tyler.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like his track record.
It's been a while since he's been on that track, though.
I know it has been a while since he's been on.
Yeah,
it's been a while since he's been on.
It showed.
He had all the heart in the world, but man,
yeah.
I want him to come back after being on track.
I don't think we'll see him again. But you know what? I'm excited for next week, which is tomorrow is when it comes out. And
today, Zach.
It's probably out right now. It's 1 a.m.
Hey, we might get snowed in.
That's true.
Be a good time to watch it.
Yeah, it'd be a great time to watch it.
So we'll be back with you next week. Now that we are caught up from the holiday and stuff, we have this going on. If you have a suggestion for what you want us to watch in the off season, that's on either Paramount Plus or Netflix. Let us know because we will be letting our Patreon vote on that very soon. And I have 2 planned giveaways on Patreon that I hope to have up by the end of the week.
Okay.
I've already teased one of them in the Slack group, but I did not give them an advantage because I'm going to ask for people to reply with comments of something, and then we'll pick a winner and go from there. So,
can I give something away?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Well,
I got an idea.
Okay.
Is it going to be like something random for your house, or are you?
I hope you mail them a plate.
No,
I was thinking like a spoon.
The thing I'm thinking about giving away is not located in my house.
We can talk about it after we're done. So yeah, we got
fart in a jar.
We got at least 2. We got at least 2 things coming. By the way, some girl from 90 Day Fiance apparently has been farting in jars and sending them to people, and then she had a heart attack. So she's like, "I'm done farting in jars." And I don't know if
like what a sentence.
Well, I don't know if she was like eating like very gassy foods to like force herself and like threw her body out of rhythm. But yeah, if you're farting so much that you have a heart attack, probably stop doing that. But
hold them in.
We'll be back with you next week.
Have a good night, everyone.